Welcome to Graham Rec Park for this next chapter in Bluefield College softball. Hi, my name is Ethan Stinson, and welcome today. Pleasure to be on the call as we're getting started a little bit late here. But the Bluefield College Rams coming up against a great Reinhardt University softball team. And as a matter of fact, Reinhardt will also be at Bowen Field in about 30 minutes or so to do their open in the pitch. And a starting pitcher for Bluefield College, her name is Jocelyn Thompson, who only a freshman, but she has consistently been delivering pitches all season long. We're pleased to have you today on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Coming up first on Reinhardt, at the top of the first inning, we got Alice Hooks, who also plays in the outfield. She's awaiting the umpire to getting in position. Umpire comes up, dons the mask. And now she steps in the batter's box. Hooks. Thompson dishes. And that one's going to be a strike. 0-1 count. A little bit to the corner, but in the strike zone nonetheless. Count 0-1. Top of the first. And the ball went foul to the third base line. It's 0-2 now for the count. Hooks steps back in the box. Gets in stance. Thompson throws. And strike three as it goes right across the plate. So now you can call that one out for this one. A clean strikeout. Strikeout while looking. Now coming up next is Loveless on Reinhardt. And ball went right across the plate for strike one. It's 0-1 for the count. One out on the board. Top of the first inning. No scores yet. No men on. And ball was low that time. Ball one. 1-1 for the count. One out on the board. Loveless, a right-handed batter. Getting in the batter's box once again. Thompson for the throw. Bounced on it. It's 2-1. 2-1 for the count. One clean strikeout while looking at it from Hooks so far. Thompson dishes, and a check swing. It's going to be strike two. It's 2-2 for the count, one out on the board. Loveless gets in stance. Thompson throws, and ball goes foul. And it's not caught as it goes on the bullpen. Count remains at 2-2. Loveless gets prepared, comes back in. Thompson for the throw. And strike three to swing. And that one's going to be the second strikeout in a row for Jocelyn Thompson. Martinet now coming up to the batter's box. The third batter. This could be a 1-2-3 situation. Left-handed batter. Jocelyn Thompson dishes to the outside. Ball one. Two outs on the board. Nobody on yet. In this what seems to be fast-paced first inning of play. And that's going to be going outside towards the third base line for the foul. Ball one and strike one. It's 1-1 for the count. Two outs on the board. Jocelyn Thompson for the throw. And that one's going to be down. 2-1. Thompson throws, and ball goes foul ground to the first base line. It's going to be 2-2 for the count. We thank you all for tuning in today to Bluefield College softball. In the first game of 2 today against Reinhardt University, Thompson to the outside, all the way to the left-handed batter's box, or check it, the right-handed batter's box. So that's going to be ball 3. It's a full count all the way, 3-2-2. And that's going to be another foul ball. Count remains full. And the reason why I say full count big time is 2 outs are also on the board. So either a walk will come, another foul ball, maybe a strikeout. Could be a 1-2-3. Thompson for the throw, and that's going to be a dead ball, as ruled by the official, the umpire, at home plate. 3-2 the count. Thompson dishes, and a grounder going to the outfield. Throwing to first, and call it safe. Making it safe to first was Martinet on that single play. And also just barely getting there before the ball went to the first baseman's hand. Now up next to bat is Adams. Another right-handed batter to watch out for. And that one's going to go right over our press box here. That's going to be no balls and 1 strike on this one. 2 outs on the board. And once again, another foul ball going the same direction. Behind us here in our press box. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board. Martinet on first. It's top of the first inning. Game remains scoreless. Thompson for the throw. And goes down to the outside. 1-2 for the count. Thompson. And then a grounder to the outfield in the middle. But now another single hit with Adams now making it to first base and Martinet on second. Megan Huss coming up now for the Reinhardt University. Thompson throws and a strike. Clean across the plate. No balls, 1 strike. No one in the count, and make that 0-2 as it went foul right off the tip of the bat. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board, top of the first inning. We got Adams on first and Martinet on second. Huss up to bat. Thompson for the throw. Outside, 2-2. Check it, that was 1-2. 2 outs on the board. Here's another pitch. Grounder to second base. And that one will do it as the out at first brings this to the end of the top of the first inning. With the game scoreless, we'll be back in about 60 seconds for the bottom of the first inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Welcome to the bottom half of the first inning here, where it was basically a very quick first part of the inning where Thompson struck out 2 batters consecutively, and even though a couple made it on a single, the last out coming from Huss, making it now a no-no ball game. With it now being bottom of the first inning, we now will go to the batting order of Bluefield College. Santana up now first at bat with Radke. Radke up to the pitcher's mound. Umpire getting set. And Radke likewise. Now getting in stance, Santana. Radke for the pitch. And that one's going to be foul across the third base line. No balls, 1 strike now. Santana tapping the plate. Radke dishes. And that's also going to be a foul ball in the same direction to the third base line. It's going to be 2 strikes now for Santana. 0-2 the count. Radke clasps. She throws. And a ball down to the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for the count. Santana gets in stance. Radke. And that's also going to be another foul ball to the third base line. This time hitting the fence of the bullpen. Count remains at 1-2. Radke dishes it. This time an out at first base. Getting the first out on the board for the Reinhardt Eagles.
Here's the second baseman, Pina Lauren Bailey.
Bailey is now coming up, a left-handed batter. Radke dishes it. And a strike right clean across the middle of the plate. And parallel to the numbers. No balls, 1 strike. Radke coming up with another one. All right, it's now a grounder out to left field, making it safe to first. Bailey with a single on the day. It's bottom of the first inning. Game remains scoreless here at Graham Recreational Park. Right here on where the Bluefield Virginia Little League also hosts their softball tournaments and games. Sanchez up to bat, right-handed batter for Bluefield College. Radke with a perfect strike. It's no balls, 1 strike. One out on the board after a successful first base play. Radke with a swinging strike. It's going to be no balls, 2 strikes now. 1 out on the board. Bottom of the first inning. Radke gets started. Ball is going to be too high. It's going to be a 1 ball, 2 strike situation. As the people in the dugout are cheering here, Radke. And that's going to be the 3rd strike to seal the deal. A swinging strike at that. 2 outs now on the board. for Reinhardt, putting it away somewhat successfully right now. Still got a woman on first base. Harmon, right-handed batter, coming up now to the batter's box. Radke dishes, and a great strike. You've seen some consistent strikes from Radke, not only today, but in other games throughout this season. Great asset to the Reinhardt University Eagles team. And a swing at it makes it strike 2 for Harmon. No balls, 2 strikes. It's still bottom of the first inning. 2 outs, 1 more, and we'll go to the second. And a foul ball call as it goes way outside the field here. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 more, and this inning's over. But if she hits it, there potentially will be someone on first and second to start a running score here. Or a running start, rather. Hopefully a score. And a stolen base. I guess I spoke too soon because someone did advance to second base. And that one's going to be Bailey. Bluefield College on a roll. Now there's someone on second base. Bottom of the first inning. After a steal. And that one is fair territory as ruled. It's a foul ball. Somewhat confused about the call there. It seemed like it was pointing in fair territory. But nonetheless, that is a foul ball. So she's coming back into the batter's box. 1 and 2, the count, and 2 outs. No score, but now we got someone on second. Getting ready to go to third. Ball on the outside. Ball 2. Harmon getting set. And that's going to be strike 3 to end up this one for this first inning where the game remains scoreless. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the second inning on the Rams Digital Sports Network.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fam.
Welcome back to the Bluefield College softball game here, the first game of a doubleheader. Ethan Stinson on the call for you. Top of the second inning after a very scoreless first half. With some impressive striking out from both pitchers from both ball clubs. Thompson back up on the mound, and this time Fisher, the first baseman, getting the first of the lineup. And that's going to be a strike. 0-1. Start this one off. It's top of the second inning, no score. Thompson with the bouncing ball right on the plate, but still not high enough. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fisher gets set. Thompson clasps. And here comes the pitch. And a high fly ball out to left field. And an out has been made. By number 10, Topliff, who plays at left field for Bluefield College. First out of this one. Now Parlato up. Thompson barely made it, but still a strike. 0-1, 1 out on the board after a great hit getting caught by Topliff in the outfield. Thompson dishes. That's going to be strike 2. Parlato gets ready. Thompson dishes, and that's going to be a clean strike 3 swinging. Bible, who plays on second base, now up, a right-handed batter. 2 outs now on the board. And a nice clean ground ball. And an out at first from the second baseman to the first baseman makes this one a 1-2-3. So with that, we'll be back in 60 seconds with the bottom of the second inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Welcome back to the Bluefield College softball game. Ethan Stinson on the call for you today. And now to start off the bottom of this second inning, we got Hicks set to bat. Radke dishes from the circle. And that's going to be an inside ball 1. And here's Radke again with a clean strike. However, so parallel to the knees. Still 1-1. Radke dishes. And a grounder right on the chalk. And that's going to be a double. Oh no. It's going to be a triple. Right there, a triple scored after going into right field very deep. We now have someone on first. or third, going from first all the way to third. And Jocelyn Thompson's now up to the plate, potentially to get an RBI on the day. Radke. Here's Thompson with a high fly ball, but a clean out from the first baseman. Lambert now up. Radke for the pitch. And ball right in the center of the plate. Strike one. It's one out on the board. No runs scored, but one may potentially score here with Hicks at third base after that impressive triple that she did. And a popper to foul. No balls, and this time 2 strikes on the board. Mackenzie Lambert gets outside the box and does a little warm-up, now comes back in. Radke this time steps to the circle. She dishes, and a swing makes it strike 3 and going to 2 outs now. However, Hicks waiting very patiently at that at third base to come home. We got someone on third, it's 2 outs. Very, very, very good situation. Martin now up to serve for Bluefield College. Radke clasps, pivots, good, and it's a ball. 1-0. 2 outs on the board. No balls, and 1 ball and no strikes. And the game remains scoreless. It's bottom of the second inning. Radke for the throw. And an emphatic strike from the umpire makes it 1-1. 2 outs. Martin gets in stance. Radke. And it's going to be a foul ball going right over the dugout and over the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. We got someone on third in Hicks. And we got Martin with a count of 1-2. Radke steps to it, clasps the hands, and comes forward with the ball. And that's going to be strike 3, and, well, that means top of the third inning coming in 60 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fam.
Welcome back to Graham Recreational Park for the top of the third inning of this action today. The game is still at goose egg to goose egg, where we've had two very competitive defenses coming at each other. Parker up now for the bat. Thompson putting it across the plate for strike one. Oh, and 1 for the count. Thompson again. This time a swinging strike. 0 and 2. Could be a very quick strikeout. Parker, who plays at outfield, gets her first ball. 1 and 2 now. As it sailed to the outside, to the left-handed batter's box, where she is a right-handed batter. Thompson pivots. And that's going to be ball 2. It's 2-2. Nobody on as of yet, as we're early in the third inning, but there's also no score. Thompson to the inside. Ball 3. Full count here. As Parker gets outside of the mound, gets a little practice swing in, and comes back in. Thompson with a strike 3 for Parker as she swung. Now coming back to the top of the lineup here, we got Elise Hooks, who had a strikeout back in the first inning. Hooks gets in stance. Thompson. This time, a fair ball. Going to second. And that's going to be a safe on the double for Hooks, as she hit a very high fly ball to left field. It went at the chalk, but not until it went to the outfield, past the third base. We now have someone on second for Reinhardt University. Lovelace coming in now. Thompson for the pitch. And that one's going to come right here at us. Right here in the press box for strike 1 as a foul ball. 0 and 1 for the count. Lovelace gets ready. Thompson comes forward. And a grounder to the outfield. Coming in. And a play at home plate for the out. It was a close call made by the home plate umpire. The chalk is now somewhat destroyed by the impact of the slide. The umpire calls time to sweep off the plate. Now that a run has been prevented by the catcher on Bluefield College, we've got ourselves an interesting contest. The catcher, by the way, Sanchez for Bluefield College. Now coming up is Martinet. Still no score, but it was close to being a score, as now there's a first ball on the outside. But now we got Martinet, left-handed batter. Thompson giving the throw. And that's going to go outside and behind for the foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one's going to be popped into the infield, and that's going to be an out. That is an out, ladies and gentlemen, made by the catcher Sanchez. Great plays made by the catcher in this half. So we're going to come back in 60 for the bottom of the third inning here at the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score 0-0. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rams Digital Sports Network. We're live here at Graham Rec Park, where the game is still tied up goose egg to goose egg, as I like to say. We're at the bottom of the third inning. It's Bluefield's turn at bat, seeing if they can get the first scores of this contest. Radke, and a bunt with an out. After it was caught by the catcher.
Center fielder, Claudia Santana.
So after a quick out, we now go back to the top of the lineup with Santana, who threw an impressive play to the catcher in Sanchez in the preceding half of the inning that we just witnessed. And also preventing the score, also Sanchez on fire with that. No ball, one strike now, as Santana gets back in the box, in the left-handed batter's box, that is. Radke comes at it, and just about to run for it. It's a foul tip. Strike two. One out on the board. Radke for the pitch. High fly ball to the outfield. And it's missed. Going to second. And going to third. And the play at third with safe. A triple. And it turns out that they go all the way home after it goes out of the park. Throwing home as they miscalculated the throw to the outside. She just said, well, hey, let's just go home. First run of the game going to your Bluefield College Rams. One out on the board. Bluefield now taking the lead in the bottom of the third inning. Bailey now up to serve after an incredible home run we just witnessed. Correction. A triple and a throwing error. But hey, it had the enthusiasm of one, as we have 1-0 for the score now. And 0-1 for the count, as Bailey up to bat. Radke getting set, clasping the hands, coming at it. And that's going to be a ball to the outside. 1-1, and 1 for outs. Bluefield in the lead now with 1 run to none. Scoring first in this game. And a swinging strike. 1-2. Bluefield getting their first score of the day after getting a triple, but a throwing error makes her go all the way in Santana, as that ball now goes 1-2 as it goes foul. Here comes the pitch, and yet another foul. It's 1-2, one out on the board. It's 1-0 Bluefield College. As Santana ran from third to home on the throw-in error. And on the outside for another ball, 2-2. One out still on the board. Bailey tapping the plate. Radke dusting off the ball. Seeing what she can cook something up here. She throws, and it's going to be another foul ball past the third baseline. 2-2 remains the count. We thank you for tuning in today. And just another reminder also, we also have baseball against Reinhardt going on today, simultaneous to this game. Also carried by the Rams Digital Sports Network. Radke for the serve. A pop fly. And that one's going to be an easy out to make it 2. It's those easy plays that those infielders like to catch. After Bailey popping it in the infield, giving a second out of this one. Sanchez now coming up to bat. She steps in to the batter's box as Radke gets on the circle. And ball, even though it was a tad bit on the inside, still called a strike. Coming across the plate, 0-1, 2 outs on the board. 1-0, Bluefield leads it after a great run in the first inning. And that's going to be a ball 1 as it was high. 2 outs, 1-1. Nobody on as of yet. And another ball, 2-1 with 2 outs. Sanchez practicing a swing and getting back into the batter's box. Slowly. Radke. Cooks it up, brings it. And a grounder to the infield. Going to first. Second baseman trying to throw to first base, but it's no use because she's now safe. As Sanchez now on the single. Has a great infield play. Now she's at first. Harmon coming in. Radke to the outside. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Bluefield still leading it by 1. And the only run scored in the game as of yet. We've got Sanchez also on first base. And ball low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Bluefield very animated with their cheers as we progress in this ball game. It's 2-0 for the count. And a strike as Sanchez has to watch out because sometimes it can come back on you if you're not on base to get the out for him. Sanchez at first, Harmon up to bat. Radke, here she comes. And a ball. As once again, Sanchez trying to preemptively get to second. You can tell she's ready. Harmon still up. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. One more will do it for a walk. And a swing and strike. Going to second. And a stolen base made. Stolen base from Sanchez. Now we got someone on second base for Bluefield College. As Harmon is now facing a big-time full count with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. This could go any direction, folks. If she bats this one, you could potentially have someone on first and third. Radke. And a very, very good outfield play. And coming in to score, we got Sanchez. Sanchez comes into home plate to score the second run in this bottom of the third inning for Bluefield College. And making it to first, we got Harmon. Score now 2-0 with Hicks coming up to bat. Radke getting tense. And she dishes. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs on the board, 2 runs. After Sanchez just booked it to home plate to make an impressive run. And that's a strike, 1-1. But hey, to add to the statistics, Harmon now has 1 run batted in. Radke for a ball to the corner. It's 2-1 with 2 outs on the board. Seems not to faze Bluefield College. We got someone on first. It's bottom of the third inning with 2-0 in favor of Bluefield College. Radke for the pitch, and that's going to be another ball, giving it 3-1 with 2 outs. Hicks getting back in the stance. Radke coming forward with the ball. And that one's going to be ball 4 on the high. With a base on balls, we now have someone on first and someone on second. As the umpire calls time. So now you've got Hicks on first and Harmon on second after a walk. As Radke only had 1 strike on that count. Still 2 outs, top of the third inning. Bluefield now leads this one 2-0. And after the brief timeout, and Jocelyn Thompson, who pitches for Bluefield College, now getting into the right-handed batter's box. Radke dusting the ball. Let's see what she cooks up. Brings it on. And ball low for 1-0. 2 outs on the board. Thompson ready for action. We got someone on first and second. This one could potentially get us bases loaded for Bluefield College. Radke with the serve. And going into the infield with the out to make this one the 3rd out at first base. So with that, Score is now Bluefield 2, Reinhardt nothing. We'll be back for the top of the fourth inning here in 60 on the Rams Digital Sports Network.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fan.
Welcome back to Graham Recreational Park. Ethan Stinson on the call with you for this edition of Bluefield College softball. Getting 2 runs back-to-back in the bottom of the third inning. They're now up for the pitching again as Jocelyn Thompson comes into the circle. Adams coming up now to start things off for the fourth inning. Top of the fourth where Bluefield leads 2-0. Stepping in, Adams. Tapping the plate, getting in stance. Jocelyn Thompson. And a foul ball past the dugout and the first base line. It's no balls and 1 strike. It's 2-0 in favor of Bluefield. And another strike, but this time going foul again. This time to the dugout. And past the dugout and past our press box here. The count is 0-2. And we've got no outs on the board as of yet. Top of the fourth inning. And the first ball there for a 1-2 from Thompson. Top of the fourth. Bluefield leads it 2-0. Thompson with a grounder. And that's going to be an out made by the first baseman for Bluefield College. And that's going to be Lambert. So for that first out from Lambert, getting Adams out successfully, we now have, coming next, Huss. A left-handed batter. Thompson with a perfect strike. 0-1 with 1 out on the board. Top of the fourth. Thompson to the outside. 1-1. Nobody on. It's top of the fourth. 1-1 the count. Thompson. And a good bat, but a catch. Made in right field. Now brings it to 2 outs. And that play made by Taylor. in the outfield for right field. It's 2 outs now on the board, as it's a straight 2 outs, as the defense on Bluefield College isn't backing down in this one. Fisher now up to the play here. Thompson gets ready, dishes, and the high fly ball all the way back to the warning track. But we now have a catch of third strike, or third out. Got my words tongue-tied. But with 3 outs, we now have still the score 2-0. And we're at the bottom of the 4th inning right after this on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score, once again, Bluefield 2 and Reinhardt nothing. Welcome back to Graham Rec Park. My name is Ethan Stinson. Thank you all for joining us today on Bluefield College, Rams Digital Sports Network, where we have softball going on. I'd just like to say that third out made by Santana just added flavor to that half of the inning, where we have witnessed a 1-2-3 type of a half of inning. Also, Santana, not neglecting to mention, she made an excellent throw to the catcher in Sanchez in the 2nd inning to make the first out from Alice Hooks, who tried to come home. So you have good power players like that who like to get aggressive in the outfield and are very calculated with the ball. Now we're going to be getting ready to get set for the bottom of the 4th inning, where it's now Bluefield's order of batting to now come up. We're glad to have you on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Just another friendly reminder, we are also carrying today on the Rams Digital Sports Network baseball at Bowen Field, where we have Bailey Angle on the call. So you can also tune in over there if you would like to see the action. Now coming back, Kenzie Lambert now coming up to bat for Bluefield College in the bottom of this 4th inning. Radke still up to the circle, coming forward with it. It's 2-0 for Bluefield College as they lead. And a grounder to left in the infield. And that's going to be a clean out from the first base. It's going to be 1 out on the board for Bluefield College. After Adams successfully getting that player out. Now we have Martin up. Radke dishes. Martin not having any luck with that one. 0-1. The count with 1 out on the board. Martin, who plays at second base, up to bat now. Macy Martin, as they're chanting over there, to get the ball rolling, or flying in this case, since after all this is softball. 1-1 now the count, as it went a bit to the outside, and 1 out on the board. Radke. And a nice one to the outfield, to the right field, but a play at first, making it safe. Now we got someone on first with one out on the board. 2-0 in favor of the Bluefield College Rams, and Macy Martin is the lady on first. Now we have Topliff on Bluefield College coming up. Radke coming forward for the pitch. And that's inside. Ball one. One out on the board. Radke bringing it in. And a foul ball to the third base line. It's 1-1 with one out. Topliff to bat. Topliff also playing in left field when on the defense. Radke. As the wind is blowing right towards us here in the press box. See if it impacts his play. And a swinging strike at that. 1-2. One ball, two strikes as a swinging strike impacted that one from Topliff. Radke getting back into set. Radke with the play. And a strike three emphatically made by the umpire. Now makes this one 2 outs on the board as Topliff got struck out. Santana now back at the top of the order for Bluefield College. Had a very, very successful time in the last inning where on a throwing error from the outfield, she actually got to come home. Where it was going to be a triple, they gave her an extra base. It's 0-1 now as she swung. It's 2 outs on the board. 2 runs to none. Santana with some momentum behind her with Radke coming up. And going into the outfield to left field, a single, staying at home. Or staying right there at first base. So with that play, she decided to stay at first since it was a little bit occupied over there between the second and third base as they were trying to get to the ball. Now we got Bailey coming up for Bluefield College, left-handed batter. Radke this time. And it's going to be a strike right in the middle of the plate and parallel to the numbers. It's 2 outs on the board, 1 strike also on the board, no balls. 2 runs to none for Bluefield College. Radke for the pitch, and that one's going to be yet another play missed, but a ball as it was low. 2 outs on the board. We got people on first and second base. One and one as the umpire calls out to remind the pitcher in Radke. Radke dishes it. And a play at first base makes this one a quick one. Now we're going to be at the top of the 5th inning in 60 seconds here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score remains 2-0 Bluefield.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fam.
Welcome back to Graham Recreational Park. Ethan Stinson on the call for you this afternoon. And we're still in this first game of two in this great doubleheader between Bluefield College and Reinhardt University Eagles, where the Rams lead at 2-0. And just to recap what we have saw, 2 runs only coming from the third inning this time. Graham having some momentum, but one of them was pure luck off of the throwing error made from the outfield. From right field, I believe, specifically, as it was overthrown and awarding a base. So Santana ended up coming home on that one to score the first. And then Sanchez comes later. And she is another one that made it home. Now we're at the top of the 5th inning with Thompson. And a foul ball with no balls and 1 strike. With Parlato starting things off in the 5th inning. No ball, 1 strike. No outs as of yet. That's going to be strike 2 as she swung. 0-2. Thompson. Struck out so far 2 batters that I see on my scorecard here in this game. Impressive. And to the outside. That's going to be 1 ball, no strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. 2-0 for Bluefield. Reinhardt up to bat. And that's going to be a foul ball. Count remains 1-2 as it glides right up past where we are housed at, right here in our press box, as we are watching from overhead. Parlato comes back up. Count 1-2. Thompson dishes. It's outside. 2-2. 2-0 Bluefield, but top of the 5th inning. Nobody on base as of yet. And no outs as of yet. Parlato getting the bat. And about hitting the camera over there. I know when we were calling baseball a couple of weeks ago, I about got hit with a rather foul ball. Almost came back and hit me in the face. So hopefully we do not get any more deja vu of that nature. Speaking of baseball, we are also having Reinhardt baseball later today. With an out on the board now on a wild pitch. She tried to make it to first base on the wild pitch, but got out in the process. Now we got 1 out on the board. Wilkes, who's substituting in for Bible, now up, getting her first ball of the game. It's 1-0, no outs, 1 out. Wilkes, a left-handed batter, getting her first strike. 1-1, 1 out. Bluefield still leads this one 2-0. Thompson. And another strike, adding to the, after going past the first base line, hitting the fence of the dugout. 1-2, 1 out on the board. Game is 2-0 Bluefield. Last score coming in the 3rd inning. Ball outside, ball 2. 2-2, 1 out. And Wilkes gets in stance with Thompson coming up to the circle. And yet another ball as it sifted a little bit past the plate, making this a full count all. Anything can happen here. Here's Thompson. And yet another foul ball, remaining full count all. So with one out on the board, two nothing in favor of Bluefield. Here comes the pitch. And strike three is ruled by the umpire, and that's going to bring us to 2 outs in the top of the 5th. And it actually struck out while looking at it at that for Wilkes. Parker coming up, right-handed batter for Reinhardt. Thompson. Here's the dish. And a little bit to the outside, going towards the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. Trying to readjust a little bit from the last play where you had a left-handed batter now in succession to a right-handed batter. Parker grounds it out into the infield. Second baseman drops it. Parker makes it to first base. That's going to be a single base hit for Reinhardt. Now we got someone on first base. Hooks now coming back to the top of the lineup. Thompson with a ball as it goes a little bit to the outside corner. 1-0 with 2 outs. 2-0 Bluefield. Going back to the top of the lineup with Alice Hooks. And a foul ball with 1-1. 2 outs on the board. It's bottom of the 5th inning. Check it, top of the 5th inning. Game is 2-0 Bluefield. Thompson to the outside. Ball 2. Hooks up to bat for Reinhardt, who plays at center field. Thompson with the dish. And a high fly ball to the center field. And the center fielder gets her out. For the 3rd out of this one, that was Santana making that play. Making substantial plays from Santana from the outfield. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the 5th inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score is Bluefield 2 and nothing for the Reinhardt Eagles. Welcome back here to Graham Recreational Park. We're the bottom of the 5th inning, getting ready to get underway. It's now back to the turn of Bluefield College. Santana wanted to give another shout out as she made the 3rd out possible for the last half of the 5th inning that we witnessed. Just making substantial plays both on offense and defense as she came home, but also making 2 outs to seal the deal. Radke And that one's going to be an out-of-bounds foul as it went past the first base line. As Sanchez is up now on the batter's box. She usually plays a catcher for Bluefield College. Bottom of the fifth inning, and a bunt. And overthrown and getting safe at first base for a base hit. Great single from Sanchez. Now we got Sanchez on first. Next coming up is Harmon. Harmon, the designated player on Bluefield College. Transitioning over to the right-handed batter's box. Radke getting set. Here comes the pitch. And a strike. One strike on the board. No outs as of yet. We got someone on first, though, in Sanchez. Harmon looking to get another bat. No ball, one strike. 2-0 Bluefield. Radke for the pitch. High fly ball out to right field, and it's caught for the first out. Catch made by Huss. Check it. That was Huss that made that play. Still got someone on first base. One out. And a ball with 1-0. As Hicks is up to the batter's box. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out on the board. After Huss catching the ball in the outfield. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike. Clean across the plate from Radke. Hicks now coming up. And a slight swing from Hicks gives this strike 2. 1-2 the count with 1 out on the board for Bluefield College in this bottom of the 5th inning where they lead 2-0. Radke comes forward, and the ball is foul, going beyond the press box and the fence. 1-2. The count. Hicks coming back into the batter's box, getting reset. Radke cooking something up. And a high fly ball to center field. Will it go? And yes, an out made at center field. Running back to first base, though, is Sanchez, where she's safe. So with that, the center fielder making an excellent play in Alice Hooks. Jocelyn Thompson up to bat for Bluefield College, who plays at pitcher. So it's going from pitcher to pitcher here. Let's see how she reads it. Here comes the pitch from Radke, and a strike from a swing. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on the board. And here's another pitch from Radke, but that one going foul. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. Thompson, the pitcher on Bluefield College, coming up against the pitcher of Reinhardt, Radke. Radke clasps the hands. Comes forward. Thompson with a swung third strike and running at second. But it's no use, as that's the 3rd out of this half of the inning. So when we come back, we will have the top of the 6th inning for you here on Bluefield College softball here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score 2-0 Bluefield.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fan.
Welcome back to Graham Recreational Park, where Loveless is going to start us off in the top of the sixth inning for Reinhardt University, with Bluefield College coming back up to the mound. No scores since the bottom of the third inning, where two scores, and the only two scores of the contest were from Bluefield College. One of them on a throwing error. Jocelyn Thompson for the pitch. It's going to be a clean strike. In the zone. No balls and one strike. Thompson, pitch. Ball high. It's going to be ball one. Loveless getting in stance. Thompson for the dish. And once again, another ball. It's 2-1 now for the count. Thompson. Here's Loveless. And yet another ball. It counts 3-1. Thompson conferring with the catcher in Sanchez. They get back in position, and Loveless getting back into the batter's box. The right-handed batter in Loveless. Top of the sixth inning, 2-0 for Bluefield College. Loveless, high fly ball into the outfield to right field. And that's going to be an out. One out on the board for Reinhardt University. Martinet now coming up in this top of the sixth inning. Transitioning over to the left-handed batter's box with Thompson going to the outside and down. It's going to be ball one. Martinet getting in stance. Thompson, dish. And another ball. This time on the inside. 2-0. Nobody on as of yet, with Thompson coming right across the plate for a strike. 2-1. With one out on the board. After a great play made in the outfield. And that's going to be outside for ball three. 3 balls and 1 strike with 1 out on the board. Martinet getting ready. Thompson comes forward, and that's going to be strike 2, bringing us to a full count here at Graham Rec Park with 1 out on the board. 2-0 Bluefield College. Reinhardt looking for redemption. Thompson with a forward. Grounder to the outfield. And going safely to first base. Going safely to first is going to be Martinet. So now we got someone on first. Coming now is Adams for the Reinhardt Eagles, as another time is called, as Thompson once again confers with Sanchez. And it seems like another runner is now coming in to substitute. Number 16 subbing for number 10. Trowell is going to be substituting in as the first base runner. Now coming up next, we have Adams. A strike on a swing. Strike 1, 0-1. 1 out on the board. Tapping the plate. Thompson going forward. And a high fly ball. Caught in right field. Going to bring us to 2 outs. Up next is Huss for Reinhardt University after a good play made in right field. Thompson for the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Oh, yeah. The count is 1-0. Thompson winds it up. And another ball. It's 2-0 with 2 outs on the board. Huss, who plays in the outfield. And that's going to be yet another ball with 3 balls and no strikes with 2 outs on the board. Base umpire calls time as he gets the first base situated, the double first base. Count is 3-0. Trying to get something worked out over here. Advantageous for yet another conference between Jocelyn Thompson and Sanchez to work out a strategy defensively for Bluefield College, where they have been victorious thus far with 5.5 innings down, or almost 5.5. We have 3 balls, no strikes, but Bluefield leading 2-0. And with 2 outs, this could mean that Bluefield to get this third out and secure the way to go into the top of the 7th inning, or rather the bottom of the 6th inning, and maybe score some more points and get more ahead. We thank you all for tuning in today for Bluefield College softball. We're also concurrently running Bluefield College baseball live at Bowen Field with Bailey Angle. And I think that game is still going on at this time. So if you'd like to tune over there for just a couple minutes and tune on back to see some more action, to see how the games are going, and you can do that. Reinhardt in both venues. Now we're going to resume play with Thompson coming with ball 4 as ruled by the home plate umpire. With a walk now, we got someone on first and second base. With Martinet at first. Huss is now at first. Coming next is Fisher. And almost a preemptive run from second base, but safe nonetheless. Jocelyn Thompson once again clasping the hands, winding it up. And another strike, bringing the count to 1-1 with 2 outs on the board. Bluefield leading this one 2-0. It's top of the 6th inning. Fisher up to bat. And a popper with the 3rd out coming in from the shortstop. So with that, we're now going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning right here in 60 seconds on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where the score remains 2-0. Welcome back to Graham Recreational Park, where we're going to be now joining the bottom of the 6th inning. It's now Bluefield's turn at bat. They lead 2-0. See if they can try something here. Kenzie Lambert going to be starting things off in the bottom of the 6th. Radke still at the circle for the Reinhardt Eagles. And it's about to get underway here for the bottom of the 6th. We appreciate you tuning in. And like I said, baseball against Reinhardt also going on at this time on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Balls in, coming down for the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where we start off with Kenzie Lambert, the right-handed batter, hailing from Bluefield, Virginia. Just as a side note, I actually went to school with Kenzie Lambert all throughout elementary, middle, and high school. Very familiar with her history in softball, an impeccable performance throughout the years. So shout out to Kenzie Lambert. No balls, 1 strike. Radke getting the first ball on the inside. Radke winding it up. And a nice one to the outfield, to right field. And Lambert makes it safe to first base. Now with Lambert on first, Martin comes up. Looks like we may have something in order here from the umpires. It seems like Megan Gross is going to now substitute in for Kenzie Lambert at first base to run. according to what I've been hearing up here in the booth. Macy Martin still awaiting. 1 for 4 as now Megan Gross, the senior, also hailing from Bluefield, Virginia. Both players coming from my alma mater, Graham High School. Now Macy Martin coming up to bat. Bunting it foul. No balls, 1 strike. Sacrifice bunt could have been good there to secure Gross at a second base positioning. Radke is winding it up. And yet another ball, 1-1, as it went too low. 2-0 for Bluefield. Bottom of the 6th. Macy Martin up to bat from Radke, who's now dishing the ball. And a bunt. And that's going to be a sacrifice. In order to get Gross now to second, that's going to be a second out on the board. This time Macy. Not counting as an at-bat since she sacrificed bunted the ball. Now with Megan Gross at second base, we have a new batter coming up in top lift. Top of the 6th, bottom of the 6th, check it. Here on a beautiful windy day, I've had to hold my papers down the entire time. And ball going on the inside. With 1-0, the count, 1 out on the board, 2-0 Bluefield. And Megan Gross on second base after a sacrifice bunt from Martin. Radke to top lift. And a great solid catch from the pitcher, and looks like a caught out made it out number 2. But Gross, when she tried to run to third, seems like there's going to be some conferral. It could be a double play, but they're talking it over. As the timeout's been called, umpires are now in conferral with what just happened. But as Radke hopped up, caught the ball, threw it onto third. And it seems like that's just going to count. Just going to count as a tag out, yeah. So it's going to be 2 outs on the board. And that's going to be a foul ball call beyond the third base line. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on the board. Megan Gross with a tag out after Radke caught it and threw it to third base. And a ball down with 1-1 the count. 2-0 remains the score for Bluefield College. 2 outs. Radke coming back to the circle. And we got Santana back at the top of the order of things for Bluefield College. Grounding it out to left in the infield. And that's going to do it for the 3rd out after a good play at first base. So with that, we're going to be going to the top of the 7th inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network where the score remains 2-0 Bluefield.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fan.
Welcome back here to Graham Rec Park. So, to clear up some of the mud that we saw in the last half at the bottom of the sixth, we apparently had the ball bouncing on the ground first, which is something I didn't catch. And the ball was not caught by Radke, but Radke did throw it to third base. And after a long conferral between the umpires, they ruled that the third baseman got to the bag before Gross. So that caused a second out. So on my part, I do apologize for the discrepancy in calling that a catch from Radke. That indeed was not, as it was ground on the ground first. But with that, we move on to the top of the seventh inning, where the score is now 2-0. Still Bluefield College's game. Coming back now with Reinhardt up to bat. Thompson coming up to pitch. And a nice strike in the middle. Strike one. Top of the seventh. 2-0. Parlato up to bat. And that looks like a foul ball to me. No balls, 2 strikes. Parlato coming back up. Thompson getting ready. Stepping to it. And a grounder to first base with a great first base play. Made by number 4, Lambert, on Bluefield College, getting the first out of this one. Wilkes now up to bat. We saw her first at bat in this contest in the last inning. And that's going to be a ball low and out. 1-0. Thompson dishes. Once again, low and a bit to the outside. Ball 2. Adjusting a little bit to the left-handed batter in Wilkes. Thompson dishes. And a strike this time. As it comes across the plate. 2-1. 1 out on the board. 2-0 in favor of Bluefield College. Thompson with the throw. And a swing from Wilkes, giving it 2-2 count. 1 out, 2-0, top of the 7th inning. We thank you all for tuning in today, Rams Digital Sports Network, where we're in softball. And that ball going high, parallel to the helmet. It's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count here. Nobody on base as Lambert got someone out at first the last time. Oh! That ball was foul, but it came right back to the press box. Now that my co-workers up here in the booth knows what it feels like to almost have a ball come hit you in the face, except at Bowen when we had it, it was a net. If you recall, I was calling an inning of that with Bailey, and unfortunately I about got zapped. But with that, a strikeout in the works from Thompson. With Wilkes struck out for the second time in the contest. We have Parker coming up now to bat for Reinhardt. Top of the 7th. And a strike once again. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Parker getting back in the batter's box, getting in stance. Thompson throwing it. And that ball is a bit outside for ball 1. 1-1 with 2 outs on the board. 2-0 Bluefield College. Thompson hitting the foot of Parker, awarding her first base for a hits batsman. The count resets. Parker on first now after a hits batsman. Hooks coming back up to the top of the order for Reinhardt University Eagles. Count is wiped off, but it's 2-0 for the score. 2 outs on the board. And that's going to be a strike coming barely across the corner of the plate. That's no balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. Thompson. And this time a foul ball going beyond the third base line for Hooks. It's going to be a no balls and 2 strike situation with 2 outs. 1 more strike and seal the deal for this half of the inning. And a ball outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Thompson steps forward, throws, high fly ball to left field, and it's caught for the 3rd out by in the 7th position. And with that getting caught in left field, there's no need to play another half of the 7th inning. So with that, the final score of this first game of the doubleheader is 2-0, with Bluefield College taking the victory. We'll be back in about 20 minutes for Game 2 of this doubleheader on the Rams Digital Sports Network.